Boy Domuto, we're back with another video. Today we're watching Saiyan, my boy Saiyan. He dropped some heat, I believe. So this is what if Goku and Gohan were trapped in the time chamber, full story. Excuse me. Today we're watching part 1 and part 2. And Goku and Gohan trapped in the time chamber. Oh yeah, it's about to get wicked. So let's get into it, man.
Oh, let's go all the way back to the Cell saga, when Goku and Gohan go into the room of spirit and time together. Now, they're not too worried about this. I mean, Goku has used it before, knows its intent, but he was able to leave. And look at Vegeta. He and Trunks just left there after a year.
Right.
There's nothing to worry about with this room. Whatever it takes to get Gohan's power unlocked. Things go normally at first.
On to Cell saga.
Nothing changes about their training. Goku discovers a new level of Super Saiyan, and Gohan unlocks Super Saiyan for himself. They continue working with this, but Goku knows there's more power within Gohan. He just needs to bring it out somehow. Unknowingly, though, he's playing with fire. It takes some time, but eventually, Gohan is able to unleash that power. Of course, he isn't able to control it at first, but there is a brief moment where he goes into Super Saiyan 2, and his anger explodes. But something's off. Goku realizes this power is far greater than he expected. This is great. It'll definitely help him defeat Cell. And from Gohan's aura alone, he could feel the entire room shaking. Gohan's then burned out, falling to the ground. He powers back down into base, unconscious. Goku's glad to have seen that power, and he brings Gohan back to the area where they sleep. But his eyes widen. Something's wrong. When the room was shaking, something's broke. The timer, it fell over. Some of the walls are crumbled. Now, that's not really an issue for them, but the door, it's gone. With Gohan powering up, the door got destroyed. Goku starts panicking. There's no way out of here. What the hell are they supposed to do now? On the outside, nobody even realizes what's happening. Well, at first at least. Eventually a day does pass, and Goku and Gohan don't leave the time chamber. That's weird. Well, everyone's considering, maybe Goku and Gohan decided to stay in there for a full 2 years. Use all the time that they're able to use, actually. It's just weird that Goku wouldn't communicate this to them. Like, he wouldn't come out of the room of spirit and time and then tell them.
Right.
Then another day passes. They still don't exit. They're almost at the 48-hour mark, and right before it hits that time, Piccolo opens the door, and he sees nothing. The door leads to nowhere. It's just an empty room. Where's the time chamber? Back on the inside of the room, Goku and Gohan are trying everything to exit. Already, 2 years have passed. They're trying to do everything in their power to get out of here, but there's nothing to do. They need more power. Maybe if they grow strong enough, there'll be a way to break out. But there's an issue. They gotta try and ration food somehow. Thankfully, with them being Saiyans, they kind of overstocked the place because they knew Saiyans would eat a lot. So if they actually eat like normal people, maybe they can conserve some of the food, but still. It's been 2 years already and they still have no way out. What's even worse is the fact that the Cell games are approaching. Them being trapped in here not only affects their safety, but the safety of everybody else on the outside.
Hell yeah.
Gohan's power. Now he actually has control over Super Saiyan 2 with the 2 years in here. But it's useless because he can't use it against Cell if he's stuck in here. They spend more time trying to accumulate more power. Gohan gets more practice with Super Saiyan 2, while Goku eventually gets it for himself as well. A few days pass on the outside. Everyone's terrified. The Cell games are getting closer and closer, and Goku and Gohan are nowhere to be seen. They can't even use the Dragon Balls help because, well, there's no Dragon Balls right now. It's almost been a week at this point.
Oh, the Dragon Balls would
Piccolo
work.
stays on the lookout, trying to monitor everything. Everyone else is going about their lives like normal, trying to train just to prepare for the Cell games. Even though this is an issue, there's another issue that they need to focus on. At least with the Cell, they can kind of control what's going on there. With Goku and Gohan, all they can do is wait, and sitting up there on the lookout won't do anything for them. Well, except for Piccolo, who could call this his new home and actually train up here. But the lookout begins shaking. The room of spirit and time completely crumbles, and in the center of it, Piccolo sees what looks like a window, some sort of portal or whatever. It slowly opens up, and he can feel an overwhelming presence from within it. Then a pair of eyes glares through, with the eyes widened. He doesn't know what this is, but a person jumps through. A man in the same Saiyan armor that Goku and Gohan were wearing before. And he looks like Goku, and he looks like Gohan, but he isn't Gohan. He's an adult. Also, he's got no eyebrows and long hair. Another person jumps through the portal too. He looks very similar, and then Piccolo realizes who these two are. They power down. It's Goku and Gohan.
Yeah,
Gohan
shit.
now being older. That power that they had. What the hell was it? Goku and Gohan have nothing to say. They finally got out of there, after all those years. They're able to accumulate enough power to break free, using force to get out. Years and years of isolation had a toll on them, but they finally did it. First order of business, Goku puts 2 fingers on his forehead, teleporting away to King Kai's planet. He knew that they didn't have any Dragon Balls, so the first thing he wanted to do when he left is to get more of them. He gives Gohan a new outfit, and Gohan begins explaining. He's going to Namek, and Gohan tells Piccolo this, but Piccolo's more concerned about what the hell happened with them. He's glad to see they're okay and they're able to escape, but how? and Gohan explains. At some point,
That's
he showed off
crazy.
power beyond Super Saiyan, and it was so strong that it broke the door to the room, trapping them in there for good. Eventually, he gained full control over this power, hoping it'll help them break out, and Goku
Oh,
knew, too,
that
it
what
wasn't
happened.
enough. They kept on training, and eventually discovered a level beyond that as well. Super Saiyan 3, they call it. But even that wasn't enough. They spent more time powering up. And eventually, with their combined strength, they were essentially able to break reality in there, opening a portal back to the realm that they once knew. Now, for Goku, it wasn't too terrible. Still very bad, but not as bad as for Gohan. For Gohan, this was nearly half his life that he spent in there.
Yeah.
And Piccolo can see, his demeanor's completely different. He seems a lot more stoic than normal. They even lost track of time in there, but they asked Piccolo what day it is. They got out right before the Cell games began, so they still have some time to rest or whatever, but Gohan says no. They just want to get this over with. He then places 2 fingers on his forehead, teleporting to the Cell games arena. Yeah, with him spending
It's a
so many years
transmission.
training,
Hey, he learned.
it's only natural that he'd pick up on this technique as well from Goku. They had more than enough time to practice.
Okay,
Cell's waiting
makes
there
sense.
patiently, and is glad to see
Oh,
somebody repeat.
Goku.
But this fighter
That was a
doesn't
terrible
look
Cell
like anyone
impression.
I've seen before. Well, it looks sort of similar, and then he picks up on the fighter's energy. That's Gohan's ki, and he does look like Gohan after all. But why is he older? But then realization hits Cell. He begins laughing. Another time traveler, just like Trunks. He keeps chuckling. They thought they could trick him. He knew about future Gohan. Maybe in the timeline that Trunks came from, future Gohan never died and he's just meeting him now. A clever trick, but it's not going to get past him. And Gohan has no idea what he's talking about. There is no other Gohan. He tells Cell it's a good theory, but no. Cell's taken aback and then asks, Who is this then? Gohan looks right at him, assuming a battle stance. He's Gohan. He launches towards Cell in base, and he's furious. He sacrifices life
Yeah.
for this, not knowing that he'd be trapped in there for so long.
Super
Gohan
Saiyan
blamed
Gohan
himself
should take
for getting
care of that
trapped
nigga
there because
easy.
He couldn't control his power, but it's also Cell's fault.
he's Super
the
Saiyan
reason
3.
they had to use the room in the first place, and he wastes no time beating on Cell. And Cell then goes full power, trying to fight back, but Gohan's completely unfazed. Cell throws a punch at Gohan, and Gohan catches it, crushing his hand. He tells Cell that he's glad that they could finally end this, and a golden aura surrounds his arm, then creeping around the rest of his body as well. Cell tries to break his hand free, but he can't. Gohan's grip is too strong. This can't be the power of a normal Super Saiyan, can it? And Gohan says it isn't. He powers up. His hair grows considerably. His eyebrows disappear. This is Super Saiyan 3. He's still holding Cell's fist, and without wasting any more time, he launches
in that
blast
nigga.
point blank. Cell is eradicated within an instant. Nothing is left, and Gohan immediately powers back down. There's no regeneration here, no nothing. Cell is gone. After the sacrifice they had to make in there, Gohan didn't want to play around. He wanted to make sure
I like
Cell was
shit,
dead.
Gohan.
And he could have done so in base, but he wanted to be very sure. Gohan teleports back to the lookout, and everyone's already up there, since Piccolo told him to come up. And they see Gohan for the first time.
Oh,
Gohan
not
simply
Chi-Chi.
tells them, Cell's dealt with. Goku then teleports back in with Dende, and nobody even knows what to say. After all those years they spent in there, they can't imagine what's going through Goku and Gohan's minds. But also, what they had to do to escape. Piccolo gave them all a brief rundown, but now Goku and Gohan can go into more detail, and they show off their brand new power. They didn't just go beyond Super Saiyan, they went beyond. Just to make it simpler, call it Super Saiyan 3, a level beyond Super Saiyan 2. Everyone's completely dumbfounded looking at this form. The power emanating from it, it's unlike anything they've ever sent before. The gap it's so much. No wonder Gohan was able to eradicate Cell with such ease. But even in their base, they're just so incredibly powerful. They can't even fathom this power. With Cell defeated, and with a new pair of Dragon Balls here, that means everything is solved. A wish is made to revive everyone killed by Cell, and inadvertently that does revive the androids as well. But all the damage is restored. Trunks returns home, thanking everyone, and apologizing to Goku and Gohan, but he did nothing wrong. He does feel some guilt though, what they had to go through to defeat
Yeah,
Cell. Not
that
to
is
mention
crazy.
him messing with time is what brought Cell here too. But they tell Trunks again, that's not on him. He still saved them. They wouldn't have known about Cell, and their future would have ended up exactly like his had he not come here. But he still feels bad, especially seeing Gohan now. He lost his childhood. He's almost a young adult by now, and that gets Goku and Gohan to realize, crap, they're gonna have to show Chi-Chi too. Eventually they get back.
Why
up,
you
and
wish
Chi-Chi
the
has
Dragon
no idea how to
Balls?
react. She's sad but also furious at the same time. And then Gohan defends Goku, saying it wasn't his fault, it was his. He couldn't control his power. He was the one who destroyed the door. But she says Goku still took him in there. And you know, even though they spent all those years in the room of spirit and time, and they could prepare for essentially any threat on the outside, they couldn't prepare for what Chi-Chi's reaction would be. Although, it's not as explosive as they assume, so at least that's a good thing. Goku does have an idea. He's gonna go to Dende for a second, bring Gohan with him. They ask Dende, is it possible for them to use a wish to restore their ages but retain that same power? Well, Dende's not sure if Shenron's strong enough to do that. Even if they're willingly making this wish and allowing Shenron to do so, he's not
They
sure if
should.
Shenron will have that ability.
That's a light easy. That's
Their strength is
easy.
just so far beyond what Shenron's capable of by now that he might not be able to alter their bodies without altering their power too. Now, this wouldn't be that bad for Goku, but for Gohan, they're basically asking to reverse his age back to a kid, but also retain that power of an adult, which would not work. He could make them youthful again, but it wouldn't erase their memories and such. Gohan was still robbed of a childhood regardless, and even if it does turn him back to where he was, he's still going to be an adult in a kid's body. He was still robbed of his childhood, and he still went through all that turmoil. But also, something that hits Goku and Gohan too. Making a wish like this wouldn't erase their struggle. That still happened. Everyone would know, and they probably still would know too. And even though they want those years back, making a wish like this means that they're essentially reversing everything. And all that pain and misery they went through, it's worthless. Because essentially it wouldn't have happened at that point. It wouldn't really put them at ease because they'd still know what happened. It would make things worse, and erase that sacrifice. What's the point of going back to the age they were and giving up all that power if it means they're still gonna know what happened? Hell, everyone else is too. It happened. Shenron can't change the past. They're gonna have to move forward on their own.
Right.
Gohan makes
Okay.
it. He'll deal with this on his own, and he'll use this power to his fullest. He doesn't want that sacrifice to go to waste. After everything they went through,
That
he'll
makes
make sure
sense.
to not let go of this power.
I don't like this picture. He got a
Forgetting this would mean
Gohan.
their
This shit look
sacrifice
ugly.
is worthless. And instead they could take it in stride, using it to go forward, becoming greater than ever before. Things may seem bad right now, but this is a new chapter for both of them. It's going to be a very strange adjustment for Gohan, but they're optimistic. The two of them have made it through worse. They fought aliens invading from space. They fought an evil space emperor. They fought an android from the future, one genetically engineered to kill them, and they overcame all of that.
Yeah.
They can overcome this as well, especially with what they gain in exchange for it. It definitely does affect their outlook, and that's going to be seen more as the story goes on. They'll make this work. They'll make the best of it. Dende begins planning to build a new room of spirit and time, because not only does that need to be rebuilt, but also, part of the lookout was destroyed. With a portal like that opening and the power that Goku and Gohan were giving off, yeah, the lookout doesn't look too great right now. Piccolo also recommends this too, because, well, he was a kami. He wants to make sure that this place looks nice. So the two of them are going to restore this and possibly even build a new room. As Goku and Gohan leave, somebody else then come up to the lookout. It's Vegeta. The power that they have. He knows that they went through such a great sacrifice for that, and they didn't do it willingly. But he's intrigued. Super Saiyan 2. Super Saiyan 3. Imagine the possibilities. Even if it's dangerous, he wants to use a room of spirit and time next, and he goes up to request exactly what they're about to do. Build another room of spirit and time. But they tell Vegeta, really? After all that Goku and Gohan went through? And Vegeta says he doesn't care. He can handle it. He'll willingly be in there for as long as he needs. They can definitely make the room stronger. They can also remove that limit. Let him be in there for as long as he wants to be. And yeah, they were going to make it stronger regardless to avoid anything like this ever happening again. They were kind of unsure if they should even build it again in the first place, but it still is a valuable tool. They're just going to make some adjustments to it. And Vegeta's glad to hear this. As soon as it's done, he wants to know. He's going to go right in and use it for as long as he can. It'll make him stronger, and also, it'll give him a better understanding of what Goku and Gohan went through.
Vegeta about to
Yeah,
be
he was in there
880 years
but
old.
only a year. It's a risky idea, but he wants to see what using this room will do to him. Maybe he can get that same power, or at least Super Saiyan 2, even if he can't achieve the 3. The thing is, they got that power out of necessity, though. It wasn't just because they were training in there. Their objective changed partway through. They did that out of a need for power, a need to escape from here. Vegeta doesn't even know what's possible, especially because he doesn't want to end up trapped in there like them, too. At least in his pursuit of power, though, he feels that it could be beneficial. Vegeta has a new goal in mind, while Goku and Gohan now have to live these new lives. More so for Gohan than Goku. Chi-Chi's mad to have missed Gohan's childhood, but at least Gohan's still here. One of his first tasks to get adjusted to normal life is studying. Well, if he's that much older now, he's gonna have to study like he's that much older.
He ain't gonna meet
He didn't really get
Videl.
much of that done in the Room of Spirit and Time, after all. And you know, it may seem like a chore, but it's good for some normalcy to return to his life at least. For the first time in all these years, Gohan feels a little bit more comfortable, a little bit more content. He's not gonna let this power go, but he's also gonna learn to cope with it too. And he has a great amount of people supporting him along the way too. Hell, there's even someone that went through the exact same thing. Slowly, Gohan's adjustment to his new life begins. Immediately, now that they're getting adjusted to their
Part
normal
two.
lives again, Gohan realized how strange of an experience this is going to be. Goku at least was already an adult, but for Gohan, he has to cope with what happened to his life. As mentioned last time, he lost all of his childhood. Granted, it's not like he's an old man now, but he's nearly an adult. He still does want to be a scholar, but he's going to have to really adjust his plans because now he's far behind where he should be. And he will still keep studying, but he's also going to focus more on his power now. With the time he spent in there, it would be pointless to let it go to waste. And even though it's not as bad for Goku, it still was pretty bad for Goku. Just not as terrible as it was for Gohan. He gets adjusted to normal life again pretty easily. He has physically aged, but it's not really that apparent because as a Saiyan, he's still pretty much in his prime. And now he has all those extra years of training and experience under his belt. becoming far stronger than he ever could have expected.
Yeah.
Of course, Gohan's above him right now, but Goku, he's not too far behind. Gohan's the undisputed number 1, and Goku's the undisputed number 2. Then there's a massive gap. So massive that no one could even comprehend how big the gap is. Goku is so far above everybody else, especially with Super Saiyan 3. One of the best things for Gohan to do is to actually spend time training more. Goku and Gohan are going through the same thing together, so a lot of the time they spend bonding actually really helps. As the two face this awkward period of readjusting to life on the outside, Goku has a more optimistic outlook than Gohan, and Gohan is trying to be optimistic, but still, nearly half his life so far was spent in there. That isn't something that he's going to get over with or cope with right away.
Hell no.
It's a very big struggle for Gohan. A lot of the time he spent training with Goku is also time spent training with Piccolo. Piccolo wants to see more of this power that they unlocked, and realizes it's far beyond his comprehension. Obviously, he got to see it before, but seeing it again, he still can't believe it. No wonder their power was enough to actually break out of there. And they're actually pretty practiced with Super Saiyan 3. It still does have the same drawbacks that it does normally.
Oh, shit.
It, and because of how great...
I just thought about the fucking Boo art. The Boo art, that's a 7... They gotta wait 7 years for the Boo art. This nigga Gohan about to get older. This nigga about to be in his 20s. Yeah, damn.
the power is, they're not going to let that power go. They're not just going to ignore Super Saiyan 3. They're going to try and perfect its flaws. Unlike in the main story where Goku was dead and didn't even notice the flaws, here, they noticed it pretty much right away when they unlocked it. Soon enough, Goten is going to be born too, and the gap in power is just going to be massive. I mean, don't get me wrong, he's still a hybrid Saiyan, and he's still going to be pretty strong. The thing is, nothing's really going to change about his strength. And at this point in the story, he's still a baby anyways, so it doesn't even really matter.
Yeah, that makes sense.
It's not like the story changed the genetics of Goku or Gohan. It just meant they spent a lot more time training, so that's not really going to affect Goten. Goku and Gohan's training is focused on pure strength, but also, it's more of an all-around type thing. As for Piccolo, he can't really help with the strength aspect because he can't really match Gohan in terms of power. It's kind of hard to train him when Gohan's already so far above. But he can help with the mental side, acting as some sort of guidance for Goku and Gohan. He has all the wisdom of Kami and, well, himself. This will help them on a couple different fronts, specifically coping with what happened, and also trying to harness that power somehow. It's more than just brute strength after all. Another big change is that Gohan has to study on his own now. He never ends up going to a normal school and continues just being tutored and trying to teach himself. That also means he's never going to meet Videl. And even if he did, with the way Gohan is right now, that's obviously not going to work.
Right.
Maybe he'd meet someone else down the line, though. More time passes. Gohan eventually ends up mastering Super Saiyan 3, but he can go further. He knows he can. Goku ends up following suit too. Of course, falling behind Gohan even further, but is still very powerful. But they wonder, what's Vegeta up to? At a certain point, the room of Spirit and Time is rebuilt, and Vegeta immediately goes inside.
I bet.
Not with anyone else, he just goes in completely alone. It's out of morbid curiosity. No, he's not going to purposely lock himself in there like them, and that's not even going to happen anymore. There's been safeguards put in against that so it doesn't happen again. And the room has been upgraded to the point where it could probably withstand the force of something like that. Probably. So if someone were to turn Super Saiyan 2 in there, the door's not going to explode again. Piccolo, Goku, and Gohan all suggested some upgrades, with Piccolo, Dende, and Popo rebuilding it together. Vegeta's going to be the first one to break it in. Obviously, it's not his first time being in there, but he feels this will be effective. He's going to try to brute force power. He knows what he's aiming for now, Super Saiyan 2 and Super Saiyan 3. He can get those. He knows they exist, and he has info from Goku and Gohan. He's going to utilize that to make himself stronger. There's been points in this time period so far where he's tried to fight with Goku, but he really can't. They've had that rematch that they've been talking about. Actually, a couple times even. But it's not even really a rematch because Goku's so far ahead of Vegeta that, well, it's not even a contest. And that's part of the reason Vegeta wants to do this. Not just to surpass Goku, but also because he does want to get stronger in general. I mean, that's never going to change.
Right.
Although, it's not really as effective training in here. First of all, he's alone, and second of all, at a certain point, he gives in. He stays in for about 2 years, and does unlock Super Saiyan 2. But he sees the torment these two went through. He was in here for 2 years, and could have left whenever he wanted. Him being alone not only affects the rate at which he grows in terms of strength, but it also affects his mentality. Like, obviously it's worth noting that Vegeta's not going to get as strong if he doesn't have a training partner in there. But more importantly, being secluded in a room that's that intense, with nobody else to interact with for 2 years, that takes a toll on Vegeta. The good thing is that he's able to leave when it becomes too much for him, but it lets him see a fraction of what Goku and Gohan went through.
Yeah.
At least for them, it wasn't one person in there alone. They had each other. He can't imagine what it would have been like if only one of them was trapped inside there alone. That would have been even more torturous. But they spent so many years in here, years on end, facing the intense conditions of the room, and having no contact with anyone besides themselves. Not to mention they had to ration food and everything. They were in there for years, while Vegeta could and did leave whenever he wanted to. They did not have that luxury. He can't imagine the baggage they're carrying. So not only does his training give him some more power and lets him unlock Super Saiyan 2, but gives him a better understanding of Goku and Gohan. He already knows them decently well by this point. And he kind of knew this going in, but he sees how unhealthy of a method of training this is.
Yeah.
They only did it out of necessity because there was nothing else to do in there, and that was their only way to escape. But it gives Vegeta a completely new perspective on those two. He knew what they went through before, but now he experienced that, at least partially. It was only a fraction of what they had. But even so, it was enough to show him how torturous that was. More years pass. Vegeta ends up growing closer with them. His rivalry with Goku does continue. Even though there's a big gap in power, they do spar from time to time, with Vegeta also sparring with Gohan, and actually finding a new rival within Piccolo. They're at a similar level of power. Vegeta's above Piccolo, of course, but the gap in power between them is not nearly as big as it is between Vegeta and Goku.
Yeah.
Vegeta accepts that he probably won't get as strong as Goku anytime soon. At least not with any traditional method.
I mean, Vegeta perfected his Super Saiyan 2. He should be on par with Goku Super Saiyan 2.
Would, but the Buu Saga is
He can't keep up with Super Saiyan 3.
First of all, it doesn't happen when it normally did. Just as a side note, if Babidi did try to possess Vegeta, it wouldn't work here. But there's no need for that. Babidi's actually acting a lot more covertly here. There's already so much energy on Earth that he doesn't need to wait until the World Tournament. He could actually strike earlier on. There's so much energy to steal.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
There's no momentous event. He just attacks at random.
That nigga like a ball
One day,
shack.
during Goku and Gohan's training, Goku's attacked. A random demon-looking guy comes in, holding some strange device, stabbing Goku with it. Goku could feel the energy being drained. And just as quickly as it happens, the man is gone. Immediately after, the two Kais teleport in, Shin and Kibito. They sense a spike of some sort of ominous energy here. They knew Babidi was out there somewhere, but they didn't realize he was planning to strike right now. This was all on a whim. They had no time to prepare for this, and they feel awful about it. This is bad. Kibito heals Goku. Although Goku's at a good level right now, not too much energy was taken from him. Well, there was a lot of energy taken from him, but relative to the total amount of power that Goku has, it wasn't a large percentage, which is concerning. Shin and Kibito recognize how powerful he is. And even if only a fraction of his energy was stolen, that could be enough for Buu. Gohan immediately teleports in. With Piccolo and Vegeta, actually. He sensed what was going on. And they all see Shin and Kibito. Shin and Kibito give a brief rundown, but they can't spend too much time explaining. They gotta find Deborah and stop him before he gets back to Buu. But they have no way of sensing him. He's concealing his ki, and they don't know where Babidi is either. They know the general direction that Deborah headed in though, so they fly over there. They waste no time either, flying as fast as they can. And eventually, they come across some sort of spaceship. Waiting outside of it is Deborah.
I just thought about that. Hold on. So in the original Dragon Ball Z story, you know how hold on, how long is this part? Okay, in the original Dragon Ball Z story, you know how Gohan went to the time chamber with his father. Does that mean Vidal's a year older? Yeah, technically a year older than Gohan. Yeah, like technically, but like physically no, but like technically, mentally, yeah. I ain't know that. I didn't think about that. I never thought about that. I mean, it don't really matter, but
Gohan looks over at Goku and nods, and immediately flies downwards. Deborah assumes a battle stance, ready to fight. As Gohan flies down towards the surface, he quickly transforms into Super Saiyan, and with a single punch, his fist pierces through Deborah's chest, with Deborah exploding as Gohan's ki surges throughout his body. Shin and Kibito's jaws drop. They killed Deborah that easily, and this isn't even Gohan's full power. Not even close. This is his weakest transformation, and it was still able to do that, which concerns them even further. If Goku's on a somewhat similar level, and they got energy from him, imagine how much energy Buu has right now. And there's no need to imagine. Deborah wasn't protecting the ship at all. Babidi knew he would die. He was just a distraction. Gohan launches into the ship with Goku following, but it's too late. As they descend downwards, a huge plume of steam flies up. They're barely able to get out of the way in time. It's scorchingly hot. And from this plume of steam, a mysterious figure arises out of it. With Buu
turns him into chocolate.
He thanks them all. They made the process relatively quick. Majin Buu has been awoken. Much quicker than normal, and much earlier than normal.
Right.
Shin and Kibito curse everything. They can't believe it.
Damn it all to
They
hell.
didn't prepare for this. And Piccolo interjects. It's a good thing they came here and helped. Even if they didn't know about Babidi striking right now, well, nobody did. The Kais at least gave them the info to work with to try and solve this issue. And this didn't happen due to the Kais' incompetence. It happened because they simply didn't know where and when Babidi would strike. So you know what, for once, let's cut Shin and Kibito some slack. They're doing their best. Well, Majin Buu isn't too fearsome for them though. Shin and Kibito are reassured by seeing Gohan's strength. Even one of them should be enough, but with both of them here, yeah, Majin Buu might actually not be that much of an issue. And Goku looks over at Gohan. He'll take this one. He hasn't actually had a chance to test out his full power yet against anybody. And maybe Buu will be a great opportunity. But before Goku can do anything, somebody else steps in. It's Vegeta. Vegeta says he hasn't had an opportunity either, and tells them he needs to do this. He asks them to please let him try, and they're surprised to hear this from Vegeta, but they can kinda understand it. They can tell that Vegeta probably feels sidelined seeing how strong they are, and this fight will be a great way for him to prove
bet.
himself.
Let him get in there.
Not too sure, especially hearing how dangerous Majin Buu is. But they realize that Vegeta does need this. Well, at least they'll be here as backup in case anything goes wrong. Vegeta knows the risk. Shin and Kibito advise them against this. They should just end this now while they can. But Goku and Gohan want to see what Vegeta's capable of. And if something bad does occur, they could easily stop this battle. Although, Gohan's a bit unsure about this. The more he thinks about it, the more he realizes
this picture. I hate it.
Get rid of Buu while they can.
Hate the artwork. I don't like it.
Who knows what could go wrong? I mean, they saw what happened with Cell. Well, they didn't see it
I think it's the arms. I don't like the arms.
The way he got is perfect for him. What if Buu finds a way to somehow get stronger during this battle? Is it worth the risk? Gohan's ready to attack at any moment, and they watch. Vegeta turns Super Saiyan 2, immediately going in to fight Buu, not wasting any time. And he is actually very powerful. Even if he's a form behind them, he's very strong. The most surprising part is, the two of them seem dead even. It shocks Babidi too, and he's concerned until he's killed by Vegeta. So he doesn't feel anything, because he's dead. He can't feel anything.
Okay.
Come on. They see Vegeta's working quickly, which is why he killed Babidi without hesitation. And he's actually holding Buu off. Vegeta's glad. He's this strong now. He didn't realize. Goku and Gohan are surprised too. They could sense Buu's power, and it is impressive. Not as impressive as theirs, but impressive. And Vegeta's fighting pretty evenly with him. Although, that's the issue. He's only fighting evenly with Buu. He's not above Buu, and Buu has regeneration and magic, which does pose an issue. Especially at a certain point where in the battle, Buu ends up splitting. He turns into some gray Buu and some pink Buu. And Vegeta's happy to see this. It should make it easier to kill him now if the power is split between the two of them. He goes towards the pink one first, trying to kill Fat Buu. And Gohan doesn't want to take any risk here. He immediately lunges in towards Evil Buu, and the Evil Buu then launches a beam at him. Gohan's about to knock it away, but Shin yells out, "Dodge it! Don't let that beam touch him!" And right before it's too late to dodge it, Gohan's able to move out of the way as he flies towards Evil Buu. The beam flies right past him, then splitting into two, curving. Vegeta and Good Buu aren't able to get out of the way in time. Each of them are hit by the beam. And Gohan looks back. They've been turned into candy. He turns back towards Evil Buu, but he's already vanished. Then teleporting over to where the two others are, eating them as he grins in Gohan's
we about
direction.
to get powerful.
It's a good thing he dodged that beam. But did Buu just kill Vegeta? He turned him into candy and ate him. And no, that's not what happened. Something much weirder happens. Evil Buu begins morphing. Now with Good Buu and Vegeta absorbed within him, he turns into Super Buu with the power of Vegeta, which we'll just call Boogeta. And he's definitely a lot stronger than before. Shin and Kibito think they're doomed, but Piccolo comments on the situation. Even with that increase in power, it's still not going to be enough to defeat Goku and Gohan. And now they know Buu's tricks, knowing to avoid him. It is a fearsome new foe, but he's not too fearsome in terms of strength, although there is a new concern for them now. They could easily kill Buu right now if they wanted, which they actually do want to, obviously. But if they kill Buu, that means they're also killing Vegeta. And Vegeta's already been revived by Earth's Dragon Balls once, so they can't just use that as a solution. They're going to have to find some way to get Vegeta out of Buu, and then defeat Buu that way. Even with their great power, there's still limitations to how they could fight certain villains.
Right.
But they'll figure out a way around it. The two of them are smart fighters, and they could definitely figure something out. But what exactly are they going to do here? So...
Alright, anyway. I like how the story going, man. Charlotte Shan don't disappoint. So shout out to Charlotte Shan for this video. And yeah, man, I'm ready to watch the rest of the parts, you know what I'm saying, the full story. So make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe, and I'll let y'all, you know what I'm saying, I'll catch y'all next time.